All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Traversing the Veil. Yes, this is one of my custom D&D campaigns set in my really screwed up enough that I'm starting to consider talking to my therapist about it. Worlds,
Oh.
and the people around me in this particular setup are the people that probably will need to talk to their therapists about what I do to them tonight. So,
Hey.
Really niche. You gotta find a mental health care expert that knows about D&D.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact,
There are
over the
therapists that do
past
that.
over the past like 5 to 10 years, they have started using tabletop role playing
Yep.
games as a form of the therapy. So
Nice.
cool stuff. That being said, thank you to everyone who has shown up. There are going to be weird things happening tonight. All of us have had issues with internet at some point. I am in an absolutely brand new place. That's why my background has changed and all this stuff. So if you see people kind of dropping in and out, don't worry about it. I'm prepared for it. It will happen. We will get through it. As a reminder for those of you watching, the channel points here, which we call TJ Tales, you can actually use them to interact with the game. So when the evil things that I have created start attacking all my players, you can do things like you can send them healing potions, or you can cast first
Heal
level
us.
spells on them. Or if you really want to just really indebt yourself to the cast to make them love you, you can add monsters and things like that to the encounters just to mess with them.
Or maybe don't do
Mm.
that. Maybe don't do
So,
that.
so yeah, go ahead and look at the redemptions if you would like. But we like to have the audience be a part of this tale just as much as everything else. Other announcements, really quickly. I started a brand new kind of sub series on my YouTube channel. I have a show I do called D&D Deep Dive, where I talk about how to play D&D classes and how they're designed to work and how to get the most out of them. And I just started a new series where some brilliant homebrewers actually went and translated all of the Final Fantasy 14 classes into D&D classes. So I'm currently going through all of them, and each one of the brand new classes they designed have 2 to 3 subclasses, and it's brilliant. So check that stuff out, youtube.com/trainerjody. And then Imp here has another thing he would like to mention that actually is directly related to Day's background.
Well, just want to put it out there. I consider myself an ally, a signal booster, just generally a person who believes everyone should be treated right and equally. Today is the last day of Pride Month, but that doesn't mean that the support for the LGBTQIA plus community has to end. There's a plenty of lovely charities out there. For in particular, this one that I happened to buy for during Pride Month. This proceeds for this went to Lambert House, who is a great charity in helping those in need within the community. There are also a number of other charities out there for the community in regards to helping the Rainbow Squad. Be a friend to those. Be a friend to everyone. Be a supporter. No shortage doesn't have to just stop because the month is over. Encourage everyone to seek out more ways to help if you can.
Yep, always is useful to remember. Even and this is something I don't see talked about a ton. Even the people that look to have everything to get together, that are always smiling and cheerleading and helping people, even they can have parts of their life and their mind that they're struggling with, and they may be dealing with things that you have no idea about, whether it's internal, whether it's external pressures. So simply because we're no longer talking about celebrating LGBT plus month, there this is something that people live with all year, It is always their life. It will always be their life, and everybody's experience is different. And even having the same identifiers as another person does not really get you the ability to understand how their life is going. So, if you do have the ability to help, even if you personally don't see a need for it in your life or in the lives of the people that you know, doesn't mean the need isn't there. And that goes for the LGBTQ plus community. That goes for last month was Mental Health Awareness month.
Asia Pacific Islanders, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, like all of these are
matters.
Connected. You know, the LGBTQ plus community coincides a lot with the mental health community. They deal with anxiety. They deal with depression. You know, so all these things are interconnected, and just because you see things going a certain way doesn't mean that's universal for everyone. So if you can help, do it. And if you can't help, don't feel bad about that. It's not your job to save the world. It's your job to do what you can to make your impact on the world as positive as it can be. And sometimes just existing in the world and taking care of yourself is the most positive impact you can have on the world. So,
also, what kind of person hates rainbows? What's wrong with you? Rainbows.
I was driving home from work one day and I saw the most perfectly formed rainbow arch I had ever seen in my life. Like, this one actually looked like it came out of a cartoon. Sure. Who doesn't like that shit?
Yeah. Or that double rainbow dude. Like, that is one of the greatest videos ever. Anyway, yes, support charities that support marginalized people. And that's all marginalized people. And
except Autism Speaks, they suck.
Yeah, except Autism Speaks.
That specific charity, that specific one, they're bad.
Do your research on your charities. That too. So with that being said, I think it's time for us to return to traversing the veil. Finding an idyllic town sequestered from the dangers of civilization might be a paradise to some. But the town that the party has found itself in is different. Something's not quite right about it, and it's been causing issues. The party started coming here in the hopes that they could find the remnants of Karen's former crew. But on the way here, they were attacked by some creature from beneath the veil, and when they awoke, they had no weapons, they had no casting implements, and they had no memories. As they spent more time in this strange, peaceful village full of happy people, they started realizing, well, they could remember some of their past, but there was a large chunk missing. And then Karen started seeing members of her crew that would vanish shortly after she saw them. After an eventful first day, they lied down to sleep and were subsequently locked into their rooms as their house was burglarized. And Zarian's companion he created was stolen from him. Now, the party is attempting to discover the mysteries surrounding this place. They've discovered a temple with something evil beneath it, and they've discovered a windmill water wheel that obviously has more secrets than has been revealed. And that is where we will pick up today.
Big plot twist. It's the last windmill in existence. Don Quixote has been on a killing spree.
It's always the Don Quixote, man. Like, you never to trust a dude that tilts the windmills. So, you guys are currently in the windmill. Eden has graciously given you a tour of it, and it is incredibly impressive. The center of the windmill is a massive well that goes much deeper than any of you can see. There is pretty impressive mechanical structure inside of it that draws effectively all the water for the entirety of the village from this one massive windmill. Without this windmill, it's very possible that the village itself could not exist. The crops would not get irrigated. The townsfolk would not have water to drink, to cook with. So it is obviously a very important part, thus why it is under guard. The most recent thing that's happened is you guys noticed one of the bookshelves. There are scuff marks, barely noticeable, on the floor near it, indicating that it has moved relatively recently, despite the fact that it looks like it is covered in dust and neglected. So, all of you are in the windmill. And again, despite the fact that the windmill itself from the outside is very, very large, because the inside of it is dominated by this massive well, there's actually not a ton of room to move around inside. There are stairs that go up and circle the windmill on the inside, and there's little offices and the things like that go up. But you really can only stand single file around the edge on this level, with enough room for people to kind of move past you if they need to. So Eden turns to you all and goes, "Well, what do you think? It's impressive, right?"
Definitely a word I would use. Yes, this is quite impressive.
And definitely a fan of the architecture.
Is it like gears on gears on gears in here, or is it just like one massive turbine column?
There are multiple
Hellboy and the
water
Golden Army.
wheels throughout here, some of which are powered by water trickling down, some of which literally bring water up. There are buckets on ropes and pulleys, and quite a few other, like, just the sheer amount of technology here is a little bit overwhelming, even for like Zarian, who, deals with clockwork machines and things like this. This is another level.
Is it like super loud, or is it like manageable?
It's a little loud enough that you have to you don't have to yell, but you have to speak louder than you normally do to be heard. I thought I had sound for that, but I don't. So imagine that this is more mechanical than musical.
Imagination in an RPG. That's crazy talk.
Well, did you have any other questions for me? As I said before, we understand how difficult it is for you right now, and we want to help you by answering as many questions as we can to make the process of adjustment easier for you.
I do have one random question, and pardon me if it sounds quite unusual, but just out of pure curiosity, was this windmill built around the same time as the rest of this village?
Well, we don't know. I myself has only been here for 15 years, and the village existed long before I came.
Who was in charge before you?
Let's see. I believe it was a man named Enoch.
Where's Enoch now?
He was, unfortunately, he fell ill about 4 years after I had arrived. We did what we could, but at that point we had no one here who practiced any sort of healing abilities. I believe you've met our current alchemist and apothecary. She arrived only a few years ago and has been an absolute blessing since she came here.
Oh yes, quite lovely lady, lovely lady. Tried to dope the hell out of us with bread, apparently, but with the best of intentions.
Well, were there any other questions? Otherwise, I don't like to leave people in here for too long. The noise gets rather abrasive after a while.
Well, I am curious.
Yes.
Sorry. Oh, I was just gonna say, seeing what goes up, what's it like down? I mean, this must go down quite a bit.
Yes, we. This is the lowest floor that we can actually inhabit. Anything beneath here is simply the well going down, and it goes down very far. I think the last time someone attempted to measure it, it was 400 yards down to the top of the water.
Well, I'm just curious in regards to in case there's like this island seems to offer so much. Has anyone tried to go down below to see what it offers beneath the island?
Beneath the veil?
Well, beneath the island, I would presume it would. If it goes down there, if there's caverns underneath the island,
we won't risk anyone going down the well, because if this is something were to happen, they would pollute the well. A rotting body would spoil all of our water.
Oh, so no one has been down below.
Well,
to explore.
There's nothing really to explore. There's an underground. It's simply a well, just like any other well. It's groundwater.
I want to insight check.
Me too.
I lit on that.
Yep.
That'll be an 18 total.
Okay.
I rolled an 18 as well.
By the way,
14.
I'm using the digital dice in D&D Beyond, the Sanguine dice.
They
are they're heartbeat dice, but when you roll them, the video does not do it justice. They're very squelchy, and I'm wearing
they're
headphones.
like it's creepy.
I heard it.
So
Like
between
meat
the three of you, she seems honest in what she's saying. You know, it makes logical sense as well. You know, something that's that deep, like 400 yards just straight down, is a significant distance.
Well, it was also who's been down. Like no one's explored down below.
As far as you can tell, she seems to be telling the truth. Again, it's I mean, the way a well works is you don't tap into like an underground river. It's just groundwater.
But to say that they've never explored down beneath the island, if there's like caverns or anything.
Exploring beneath islands is not something you do in the Sovereignty, because if you were to accidentally find your way to the outer edge of the island and let some of the toxic Nether Veil stuff in, it would kill you. It's
Well, just-
highly
just-
corrosive.
Well, just to clarify, I'm not talking about drilling or mining or anything. I'm talking like underground
You
caverns.
don't
or
explore
something.
underground caverns in the Sovereignty. There's too much risk. If there's a cavern, there's a possible of a cave-in that could open up to the Vale.
True.
People just
there's-
don't do it.
Yeah, I'm also operating off of what Lucky had said versus using the Paladin sense, and there's something really bad
Yeah.
beneath us.
I'm just saying your experience as people that have lived in the Sovereignty is you never go too deep on an island ever. You generally want to stay on top of the island, because as soon as you go beneath the Vale itself, the Vale is anywhere depending on where you are, it's anywhere from about 20 feet to about 50 feet to the thick, and then beneath the Vale, they just call the gas down their nether Vale. Is this toxic, corrosive atmosphere. Nobody digs too deep.
I'm not talking about.
I think we lost him. So yeah, that's the whenever we get. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've noticed he froze, right?
Yes.
Yep.
It's not just me. Cool. All right. I wasn't sure. So for the rest of you, don't fulfill him in. Yeah, the idea of exploring underneath an island, even if there are natural caverns there, is bonkers. That's like mining. Digging a mine in a natural gas place. You're asking to explode yourself.
Oh, and he's gone.
Bye, we'll miss you. I told you we're gonna have weird stuff going on. Let me see if I can do this. The names are wrong, but try and get this as much as I can.
Albert.
There. So when he comes back, we'll switch back. But for right now. Okay. So any other questions that you guys just have?
Nope. I'm just taking in my surroundings and making note of that.
Me
Scratch
too
marks.
as well.
I am just thinking very hard about. There could be some sort of connection.
There's actually something I want to try. Like, if you can remind me what the inside of the windmill is like. It's like it's very narrow in here, and then there's just like a pit in the middle or something that brings up the water.
But basically, what you guys see when you come in, there's about a 10-foot wide walkway all the way around this circular building. On the inside of that walkway is basically a stone wall. It literally looks like a well that goes up to about it's about 3 or 4 foot high. It's about a foot and a half thick stone, and then you just see this kind of gaping maw of a hole that goes down that has buckets being raised and lowered on pulley systems and water wheels and the things like that, all going up and down it. But for the most part, those are all kind of built towards the outside. The center of this is just a big old gaping hole.
And you did mention that it was like super noisy in here.
Yeah, because of all the stuff, there's a relatively high level of ambient noise.
Okay, never mind. I had an idea, but it's not going to work if it's noisy. Never mind.
Okay. And then on the opposite side from where you guys are, there is a single, like 5 foot wide staircase that goes up, and about 20 feet up, there's another ring. We may be having imp back. There's another ring that has kind of closed off offices and things like that, and then you see another set of staircases, and it goes up about 5 or 6 times. So let me switch back here.
Didn't miss too much. Just dirty clarifying what we see.
Here.
Still thinking there's something really sus about this, though.
Oh, okay. All right, we were all supposed to set up again. So,
Sorry, hopefully that doesn't happen again.
it happens. So, if you guys are all ready, Eden starts opening the door and kind of gesturing for you to all leave with her.
Follow.
Not much else we can do.
Yeah.
So eventually, she brings you out, and you are back in the village itself. She goes, "Well, again, if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. I have a few other duties I must attend to at the temple. So if you need me, just go to the head of the temple and have one of the acolytes come and get me."
If I may ask, exactly how long will you be at the temple, just in case one of us does decide to have further questions for you?
Probably till evening meal. That's where I spend most of my time.
Just
It's-
call it dinner, you creepy ass. Just call it dinner.
Between the temple and the gathering place, those are my two main places that I frequent.
Okay, good to keep that in mind.
Well, have a lovely day. And she walks off.
When she's out of earshot, like far away, I'm just to be like, maybe no one here is doing anything. No. Maybe they don't know? I don't know.
Maybe
Someone
someone's
attacked
pulling-
us last night.
Maybe someone's pulling her strings.
Yeah.
Either she's got a really good poker face, she herself is a victim, or yeah, she's being puppeted. I mean, who knows at this point?
But people definitely broke into our homes last night.
Yeah.
And the part she said about the quartz is poisoning the water, that seems
Yeah, that was a-
really specific.
I'd love to keep talking here, but I'm pretty sure there's guards within earshot, so let's go back to the house.
Sorry.
Yeah, I assumed you
that's-
guys kind of walked
Yeah, that's what I figured.
away from the
Yeah.
guards, so. But you are in public right now with houses all around you, so if you want to go back to your home, you can.
Yeah, let's go back there. So I'll start heading towards the house.
So,
Yeah.
you don't really have any difficulty getting home. You see a few other people. Some of them you recognize from like the dinner and the things like that. Some of them you don't. With as small a village as this is, you are a little bit surprised that you keep seeing new faces.
I wonder why we keep seeing new faces.
Either these actually are new arrivals, or we keep forgetting.
I don't know. Maybe we've been here for years. Who knows?
That are running, yeah.
I'm
This
just
is a
not allowed.
really bad cult.
I just don't like this place. The fact that I can't remember unnerves me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gaps in my
Well,
memory
we're
that
stuck
I feel
here.
I don't want to forget.
But
Yeah.
I did notice there's a hidden door in that windmill, and I'll take out, because they didn't take my calligraphy supplies, did they?
No, they. I believe they took your smithing
my
tools.
Yeah, the ones I magically created that can disappear
Yeah.
at any moment. So I'll just pull out my calligraphy tools and some parchment and just start drawing from memory before my mind gets all fuzzy the inside of the windmill and focus on the shelf that had the scratch marks.
And again, with your background as a cartographer, you have very little difficulty getting a pretty exact map of what you had in there. So what would you guys like to do? At this point, it's getting close to midday. You guys can, since your house is just across from the meeting place where all the food is effectively cooked, you guys can already start smelling them starting to prep for a midday meal. You're getting the scent of it smells like biscuits and some sort of hot meat being cooked across the way, but definitely strong scents coming from there.
Now that we're back at the house, I'll wait till Zarian's done with his drawing.
Mm-hmm.
I would go up to him and be like, so when we were in the big not the second big one, but the first big one, do you remember the room with the little rooms in it, and it had the doors?
Yes.
Like, you know, the thing I do where I try to make sure there's nothing bad happening, the whole room was bad.
Ugh.
Are you telling me?
I don't know, but it was like really evil.
Well,
Wow.
without any of our weapons, I don't think we can do anything.
But
I
it's
know,
there's
but
no-
good to know, I guess.
Plus, there's no telling when those cloaked figures might try and have try an encore performance with us like the night before.
This entire place feels like it's cursed.
But that's a church, isn't it?
Well, they're calling it that, but I guess
Yeah.
it's not.
Churches can be desecrated
Hmm.
or turned into another deity's offering.
It's just a building. You just got to change the statue on the inside.
Yeah, the famine tasted what he said.
Actually, is it just a regular church, or is it of a specific deity?
When you guys were in there, you did not see any icons to any of the pantheon that you guys are familiar with.
I think I remember you saying it was like described as like it was like general weathered, kind of not like nondescript depiction. I think it's identifiable.
From what you guys have been told from the others, the temple is basically for worship of the island itself.
Island, okay.
They
Yeah, that's real suspicious.
yeah, they without
Maybe the island's alive.
yeah, from the brief amount of conversations you've had, they seem to have kind of deified the island, though none of you have asked enough questions to find out exactly what that means.
Who wants to go for a walk?
I do.
Me as well.
Are we
Lucky.
gonna stay with the schedule like everyone else is keeping to in regards to midday meals? Do we care about that? Blending in,
Yeah, we
We
assimilating.
should probably blend in.
All right, so after the meal, I want to see if they'll let us get to the edge of this island. And I want to have Lucky do his thing.
They don't seem to be very restrictive. It seems to be more along the lines of what can we get away with.
Yeah.
I just had a thought. Something kind of going along the lines here. Last night, when those people were trying to rob us while we were asleep, they did get away with your smith's tools and whatnot. What were they all trying to steal from everyone else here?
They
I don't
only targeted
think
me.
they were.
Just him. I mean, they took away with what was left of Jerry. Old Gerald.
That they were only targeting him.
Yeah.
Well, that's a shame then. I thought they might try to come back and try to rob up someone else.
Well,
Which
they
makes-
might if they think we've got something that's apparently casting capability.
Yeah, and the only person who saw me do that besides you was our new glorious leader.
And she
then-
knows Reggie can cast.
I can cast as well, though it makes me a little bit more tired. Because I just had a bit of an idea. If we can find out who it is that actually makes the furnishings of our dear... Before I start talking, can I do like a quick perception check to see if there's any like guards or locals around us within earshot?
Yeah, I would love to do that too.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be like.
Okay, we're in our-
Would
We're in
do
our
that
house,
if
so-
my perception weren't shit.
Well, due to the kind of specific nature, you can use perception or investigation.
Oh, I'm much better at that.
I got 17.
Okay.
Squelchy. 17 total.
Okay.
Natural 19 for 25.
Okay.
9.
Okay. So with all of you kind of working together, you're relatively certain you're as safe as you can be as far as people overhearing you. The walls are not incredibly thick in this building, but there are enough windows that it would be relatively difficult for someone to eavesdrop on you while you are actively looking and for you to not be aware of it. So
things seem pretty safe for the moment.
for as far as you can tell, you don't think anyone is attempting to overhear you.
All
And
right.
you're relatively confident you would know if someone was after performing a search like you just did.
All right, perfect. Because this might be a bit of a long shot, but I might have a bit of a plan. I say, if those cloak guys do try to have another whack at us, I'm gonna try and find out, and any of you are willing to assist me with this, I'm gonna see if I can find out who's in charge of creating the furnishings of this fair village. See if we can try to get a little extra pillows. If we're willing to, I feel like if we can try to make it seem like we're asleep in our beds, and then we ambush those that try to ambush us, maybe we might find ourselves someone who's willing to talk.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is they now believe I have nothing that they need. Because they were scared of me, my inventions, they were scared of what I could do, which is why they came in and took them.
Well, then maybe it's time we give them some other kind of bait.
Well, I can just make a new set of tools, but that'll be a dead giveaway that I know.
Well, then maybe it's safe to say that we try to keep that little aspect of you hidden. Here's what I propose. They're definitely afraid of you because of your inventions. And they're afraid of me because I'm one of the only few who can actually cast magic still.
Yeah, and
they actually-
somehow they're probably afraid of me as well, because I can cast.
You can cast as well. Plus,
I can cast, but they haven't seen you and me and Owie cast yet.
no, they haven't. But
Yeah.
I'm willing to put myself out there. They actually did seem pretty hesitant to allow me to play my music.
Yeah, they were really against that. That makes sense now. If they realize you're a bard.
If I can somehow get in good, or maybe do something a little spontaneous, get everyone's attention, get their suspicions on me, then maybe, just maybe, if those people do try to come back, they might try to come after me tonight. But then we'll be waiting for them. If I'm right.
Also, if I can get my hands, this place has grade A quality everything, right? If I can get my hands on some incense and herbs, charcoal, I might be able to get Spitwit. I might be able
That
to.
is a very good point. That is a very good point. All right.
You know what? Places that have incense, temples, but I was thinking more along the lines of Martha.
Martha.
If she maybe she supplies them.
Only one way to find out.
Hey, Jody,
Yes?
if I step out the front door and look up at the sky,
Mhm.
does it look exactly the same as it did the day before?
In what way? Like, what are you
Like-
trying?
Like I'm trying to see if it's like a Truman Show type thing where the clouds are going in the same pattern every day.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, like that one
And
episode
you
of JoJo's.
have a feat.
Yeah, keen
sharp,
mind.
Keen mind, yeah. Ooh, that's an interesting use. Take inspiration for that.
Out of nowhere, a giant stage light just falls.
Um, looking up, nothing about the sky seems artificial in any way. You don't notice similar cloud patterns or anything like that.
Had a weird theory.
Yeah, it's a good theory, but as far as you can tell, it doesn't seem to hold any water.
I'll walk back inside. Oh, there's that.
As you're about to walk inside, you hear Martha and her husband. Hi! It's almost time for midday meal. Did you want to join us?
God, call it lunch, you freaks.
Martha! Martha, were your ears burning?
No.
It's a saying, sweetie. It's fine. We were just talking about you.
What can I do for you?
Well, and I guess we're as we're walking towards the place,
You are since you're the apothecary around here, correct?
I guess you could call me that. I'm
Herbalist.
very good with plants and other things like that. Yes.
Well, you know what? I am also kind of I wouldn't say I'm religious, but I do often partake in use of incense and charcoals and so forth, and I would be so gracious if I could get my hands on some. And since this island is so abundant and produces such top quality grown items, I'm hoping that we can maybe you might be able to help us out.
Oh, I don't make incense.
Well, I mean, if you had like the herbs and so forth, that was or if you knew how we might be able to get a hold of some.
Well, the temple sometimes will make very limited amounts of incense for rituals and things like that. But that's all very much controlled by the temple staff. I don't involve myself with that.
Oh, they gather all the herbs and so forth themselves to create?
I don't know the process they use to make their incense. It's such a rare occurrence for anyone to use incense. I don't think I've ever seen more than 3 or 4 sticks at a time. Only on very special days, like the High Harvest is one. But yeah, we simply don't have use for much incense. No one here really worships most of the gods. I mean, they leave us alone, so we.
Oh, it's not even just in regards to the gods. It's also meditation, centering. There's many other uses for incense besides just worship. Although you make an excellent point.
Center yourself. I would say go to the temple. The meditation cells are wonderful for
it's just something I've always been used to, and if I was able to get my hands on some incense. But it's good to know. Thank you so much.
Well, did you want to join us? We can save you a seat.
Well, we're heading that way, aren't we?
Wonderful. And so Martha and her husband bring you in, and they sit you. This time you guys sit pretty far away from the center dais in one of the corners. And as you could come in, unlike breakfast, which had a pretty wide assortment of food, lunch seems to be a little bit more subdued. There's a large kind of basket in the middle of each table that has homemade biscuits in it. And then they come around with this kind of relatively thick stew that looks to be probably the remnants of that weren't eaten from breakfast that they've just kind of mashed together to form a stew and use up the remaining produce and protein. And it smells really good. but you don't really get a choice this one. They just kind of bring the bowls around, and you notice compared to the morning where there's a lot of talking and everything, this is a little bit more subdued. Like people take the bread, the biscuits, and they dip it and they eat their stuff, and they're out within 10 to 15 minutes.
Is it kind of like a work shift mentality?
Kind of.
I expect we could pick up on that being from
Yeah.
his-
So there's not a lot of ambient noise in this place. Perfect.
They still, chat a little bit, but the ambient noise level is significantly lower than either breakfast or dinner that you've experienced.
No. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Like we're all sitting down. We're all just kind of eating right now, just kind of doing our own thing right now. Okay. When Reggie is done eating, he just kind of gets up, stretches, he kind of smiles to his friends, and he just goes, "Now then, my friends, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go play with the wind a bit." I step outside, but I don't stray too far from the place. I take out my violin, and then I kind of do my little hand thing, do my little hand stretch, and then I just start playing. And I act as though if I'm just kind of playing with myself, I'm just kind of enjoying nature, enjoying life. I'm not really performing for anyone, but secretly I'm playing just loud enough to ensure that the people inside the building can hear me.
Okay.
Try to catch their interest.
Go ahead and make me a performance check.
Don't mind if I do. It is not natural, but it is a dirty 20.
Yeah, so you're sitting there and you're playing. You see a couple people as they head out. They'll kind of nod to you or wave as they go out, but no one seems to be paying you too much notice.
All right, not a problem. Looks like we're going to have to bump this up a little bit. Are there any specific people... While I'm playing, could I also do a perception check to see if I can get a sense if there's anyone close by around me that seems to be at least of like some level of authority and not just a normal townsperson?
Sure.
Like maybe a guard or maybe like a council member or something?
Because you are focusing so much on ensuring that your playing has the effect you will want it to, you will make this check at disadvantage.
I'm totally okay with that. Yeah, it doesn't work. I'm too busy playing.
You're, being able to control exactly how much sound is coming out and ensuring that all your movements are matching up the way that you want them to give the performance that you want is a little bit taxing. Even more so in this environment in general. After playing for about 10 minutes or so, which normally would be nothing for you, you already can start feeling your chest feeling a little bit heavier and your arms feeling a little bit heavier as you're performing.
Okay, when I feel it become too much, I stop playing, put everything away. I slowly make my way back into the eating building, and I sit next to everyone, and I am quite frightened. Like, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of this place right now. I can't take it anymore.
Well, I wanted to...
We all know that, but we don't know how.
No, you don't understand. If we stay here any longer, I can't play.
Right, but we don't have a way to leave.
Well, I want to ask a question. Like, you were playing loud enough for people inside to hear too?
Yes, I was.
I wanted to ask what was the read on the inside of the place when he was playing?
Yeah, because I couldn't see inside.
An insight to check.
Cool.
Could I make one too?
Sure.
Alright.
10 total.
Okay. Fuck. 4.
Even not being able to look really closely, because you're still a little bit overwhelmed with everything going on. You didn't notice anyone really reacting to the music at all.
We did. When we were in the church, we asked about. They said something about like music, or was there something about like a once a year? There's like a thing where there's a dance or there's music or something. I remember her talking about that.
Yeah,
Like,
they do have celebrations and things like that. I think Martha made a reference to
Yeah.
the High Harvest.
Mhm.
I remember previously they were discouraging music in a previous episode.
I think if anything, they wanted to really stay focused on the meal, and if I wanted to put on some kind of performance, I would need to ask like the person in charge for permission in this space first.
Yeah. So for dinner, from what you guys can tell, dinner has more of a purpose than just filling your face. Dinner is a social gathering, and anything that kind of prevents that social cohesion from happening tends to be a bit more discouraged.
You would think music would encourage social.
Yes and no. It stops people from talking because they listen to the music. Lunch doesn't have that social aspect. It is literally filling your face, so no one even noticed he was playing, as far as you can tell. Obviously, if you want to ask someone, you can find out more, but all you're aware of right now is they asked you not to play during dinner, and they didn't really give you much reasoning beyond, well, they won't be able to listen to you fully, and we would want to make sure that you had a good crowd for it. This really isn't the place for you to perform. So it wasn't so much it was forbidden as much as it was, well, this just isn't a good venue for you. A lot of people wouldn't be able to hear you, and we want you to have a good experience. Does that make sense?
That does, unfortunately.
Yeah, but what about the people outside? They just seem to be like ignoring him.
Mm-hmm.
Looking
Again, if
around.
you would like to investigate or talk to people as to why, you can.
Looking around when everyone's eating, are there any glasses or mugs that are smaller than just the typical ale mug in this hall?
Not
Or they-
really. They all look relatively uniform.
All right. Do we have any at our house, or is all the stuff like that only here?
Your kitchen is stocked with flatware and cutlery and the things like that.
Okay. Then I will not steal some.
All right. Anything else you guys wanted to do? At this point, Martha and her husband have already left. You guys are effectively alone in here with the staff of the gathering place, who've cleaning tables, prepping for dinner, things like that.
I don't think we should hang around too much. These people seem to be all business about lunch and getting back to work.
Yeah.
I guess so.
You guys start hearing the familiar sound of a knife chopping through vegetables, and your eyes start to water slightly as a very large pile of onions starts being chopped very close to you guys, because they brought out a bunch of prep tables, and you just happen to be near where they set up one of the prep tables.
I'll start heading back to the house.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't take too long for you guys to get back to your house and alone again.
We get back alone to the house. I think I would like, because I know I heard Reggie playing. I would like, if I were you, I would not keep your viol in that case tonight.
Oh, I'm gonna be sleeping with this.
Yeah.
Well, they
maybe
might be
we
looking for
could-
that too, but
You think maybe we should keep watch tonight?
yeah.
Hey, Jody.
Mm-hmm.
Would I have roughly 8 hours before we quote unquote long rest?
Possibly. Why?
Because it says to do my infusions, it's after a long rest, so I don't know how much work that technically takes, and I was going to try and transfer one of my infusions.
You can only have one long rest in a 24-hour period.
Yeah.
So
I just didn't know how the rules worked on transferring infusions.
if it says you need to do it over a long rest, then yeah, you basically have to do it at the beginning or end of your day.
Right. Well, I can do something for tomorrow, so hopefully they don't.
You don't need your
Try
tools
to-
for that?
What?
No,
You don't
I
need your
don't.
tools?
Not for this.
Cool.
And even if I did, I can just spend an hour and make new ones. They don't know that those tools are conjured.
Well, at this
Looks
point,
like
they would because they've disappeared.
I think they last until I use that feature again.
Oh, well, maybe not. For some odd reason, I thought they only lasted in an hour.
It takes me an hour to
conjure
conjure them.
That also- That does also depend on whether or not they're keeping a sharp eye on it. Wherever the rest of our stuff is, I mean, do you think they're watching it like a hawk all the time? Unless, of course, they're studying it and they're intrigued by what you can do, because they don't seem to know a lot about casters. A lot about your type of casting. It's a crapshoot, but maybe if you do some of the tools they might not notice, is a chance.
Wait
Oh,
a
this-
minute.
It's interesting. They,
Wait,
according to this,
what
they're
if we
non-magical.
were being spied on and that's why we were robbed?
I don't know.
Yes. I mean, scrying's always possible, unfortunately.
Yeah, apparently the tools, when I conjure them this way, they're non-magical. That's kind of weird. Though the product of magic, these tools are non-magical.
It's cool.
Okay.
Like their magic item, their magic spells are create mundane items.
So,
Just-
what do you guys want to do?
So here's my plan. I'm going to grab 2 glasses or mugs from the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
In the morning, I can make these into... Are you guys familiar with the sending spell?
Yeah.
I can make these into, well, I guess it'd be a new invention, so mugs of sending,
Ooh.
in case one of us gets kidnapped. And I'm looking right at Reggie when I say this.
Is the only thing missing like a piece of string between two of them?
Yeah!
It's magic's this is string.
Kind of what I was going for.
Yay!
And I can technically do this to anything, and I'm like, why not? Let's make it mugs. 'Cause, like, can't utilize... Ooh, wait. Wonder if they'll let one of us on a hunting trip.
Yeah, because where do they get the meat?
Yeah.
That's if they actually go, and it's not just magically brought to them.
That's also if you how lucky you're feeling being on your lonesome with them. Whoever you're going with in a hunting party, I'm sure they're not going to take all of us.
I wonder if I can get the stuff to make a sling or a slingshot. That's pretty rudimentary.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just
a sling is effectively something flexible with a pouch of some sort in the center. So quite literally, you could make it out of a piece of cloth. Like slings are remarkably simple to make.
Oh, I was thinking of blank. I was thinking of the wrong one.
No, a slingshot requires something
Yeah.
elastic, but an actual sling, it's literally just like a piece of cloth with a wider part in the center, generally made of leather, that you spin around. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So
Here's my thought. Because my crossbow didn't have any strings because of my magic. So in theory, I could do the same thing to a slingshot. I wouldn't need the elastic, right? With my repeating shot infusion? Because it magically makes the ammo every time I go to shoot it.
Oh.
sure.
Oh.
Theoretically, you would still need to build, quote unquote, a sling to the point where it would count as a weapon.
Yeah. I figure that's
Um,
easier than trying to get a hold of a crossbow.
Probably, yeah. So, yeah, as long as you build the actual quote unquote sling, you could put your infusion on that.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the longer we, dwaddle on this, the less likely we're able to get out.
Well,
Yeah.
also, we
Yeah.
got. I know it sounds funny about the reason why we came here, but I'm not even sure why we did come here. I think Captain had the former crew. You said you spotted someone.
Yeah.
So if there's more of them here, maybe.
I'm keeping my eyes open.
Let's go for a walk. See if we see anyone familiar to you guys.
Maybe scope
Yeah,
out.
and
See
we
what else
could
we can
walk-
find.
Can we walk by like where the fields that people are working in? Like, because I'm sure that's where the most, like, a large gathering of people are.
Sure.
Like, look at.
Yeah.
So heading to the fields are right next to where you guys first arrived here. So getting back there, not difficult at all. As you get there, the fields themselves are pretty massive. So are you specifically looking
Oh,
for
sure.
former crewmates?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
18.
Okay. So it takes you the better part of an hour kind of wandering around, and literally every like 10 minutes, as you're kind of just wandering around and kind of looking at people, someone will stop what they're doing and talk to you. And like,
Okay.
oh, are you thinking about maybe helping us in the field when you decide how you're going to integrate? And each time, it's the exact same conversation each time.
Good.
It's great. We get Kool-Aid every 15 minutes. It's really refreshing.
Good.
So that makes this go
Someone
longer
can
than
take Kool-Aid.
you would like. But after about an hour and a half to 2 hours, you eventually spot someone that looks eerily familiar to you.
Uh-oh.
And you can't figure out why for a good 20 minutes until it dawns on you that was the final crew member that signed on to the crew.
Oh.
That was the newest crew member before everyone vanished. When you saw her previously, she was a young Air Genasi, barely 15 years old. Had signed on to the crew as a way to just get off the farm that you guys got her from.
And
Because
now
she
she's back
hated
on
it.
one.
But she looks very, very different from what you remember. First of all, she is farming, and she seems to be enjoying it. And
Right.
the few conversations you had with her, she vehemently despised it. Her name was Azalea, named after one of the flowers on the farm.
And I see her now? I'm
Yeah,
like, looking
she
at her?
hasn't noticed you because she's very into her work right now. But
Can I try calling out to her, like calling out Azalea and seeing if she responds, like if that's even her name anymore?
okay, as you kind of call out Azalea, she doesn't seem to respond. But a young boy comes over and goes, "Oh no, these are potatoes. We don't grow flowers over here. You should talk to Martha. She grows flowers."
Thank you so much.
No
What
problem.
is the name of that young woman over there? She looks like someone I used to know.
That's strange. Well, who? And he has you kind of point her out to you. That's Danielle. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Danielle, come here. Come here. This woman. She says she knows you, and it is impossible for this to be a different person. You know her as Azalea, and she comes over. Hello.
Hi. I'm sorry. I hope this isn't strange, but I
Oh.
assume you don't remember how you got here, like most people we've talked to.
Oh,
And
yes,
there's-
I do. I was born here.
Who are your parents?
Well, they're no longer with us. There was an accident.
I'm so sorry. What did you do here growing up? What was your favorite thing to do?
Oh, I love working with the earth and just making things grow.
That's lovely. I'm so sorry to have disturbed your work. I thought you were someone else.
Really? Who?
A girl I once knew. Her name was Azalea.
Make me an insight to check.
I can't remember. Are the rest of us here, or is it just the captain?
No,
Did you want to be with
I
her?
figured we were
I
with her.
went on a walk with who was it that wanted to go on a walk? I
That
don't
was me.
remember. Yes. And I
Let's
said I
say
wanted
you're
to go
all
by
over
the
there.
field.
Makes it easier.
Good, because I just
I'm in danger.
I'm in danger. Where are you? Insight? Why am I blind? I rolled a 2.
Oh no!
Yeah, she kind of looks at you blank. Like, even compared to the other people you've to talk to, something's off with her.
Mm-hmm.
She seems to have even less emotional connection to herself than the rest of the group. Well, I've got to go back now, but
Of course.
It's nice to
sorry
meet
have
you.
Disturbed you. Nice to have met you as well.
okay. And she goes over, starts to digging.
That was 100% someone you knew, right?
Oh, 100%. She was not born here, and I'm more disturbed by the minute.
Yeah, I was internally screaming the entire time when since you thought she was one person. She said she was born here.
Doesn't sound right.
Why is she working with dirt? She wanted to stay away from dirt.
Yeah, that's
Well, you and I don't know
May-
that, right?
maybe since she's so young when she ended up here, the island was able to manipulate her even further.
Modifying memory or something. That takes a lot to modify your entire memory, though.
I feel like we need to break into the
Yeah.
No.
temple and find out more. That seems like a place of great power.
Gordon's.
And
I think either we're breaking in. I think.
I feel like we shouldn't have this out in the open.
Well, we're doing. Yeah, I am doing
love-
the down low. I am presuming on like stage quiet, like whisper when we're like doing this.
The village itself is set up in such a way that effectively, unless you guys are in a building, you can get to an area where you can speak without people close enough to overhear you. There are very large areas where there's just nothing.
But I
So-
remember, and that's the reason why I kicked off. I made it a point not to try whispering in the temple.
Yeah.
right.
So let's say we walk towards the forest over there. I want to get some nice sticks, maybe.
Okay.
I think that is a great idea.
I would like a large stick.
Let's take
Coast
out the
looks
beauty.
clear over here if you want to talk about secret stuff.
Yeah, you
I was
guys
thinking
have.
like maybe we pitch about like while we're looking for that, like we go back to where if we can remember where we were found. Take
Would
a little
I?
more time. Take more time to investigate.
Yeah.
Would I know the way back?
Yeah, with your effectively eidetic memory, you could figure out where you guys, the rough approximation of where you guys were when you woke here. So yeah, you're able to go into the forest, finding sticks that could be used as clubs and quarterstaffs is simple enough.
Would find stuff I could
Any
modify
any
turn
sharp pointy sticks?
Well, you can
That would
sharpen any
require a
stick.
little bit more modification. You could try to modify something in your home to have a bit of an edge, but
I don't know if you want to make it look like a weapon. Like people take hiking sticks all the time. You can get away with maybe claiming like, oh, I just wanted a walking stick while we walk around the island. If you make it look too much like a weapon, they might have a problem with that.
I guess you're right.
Firewood. We're just getting firewood.
Or just a walking stick. I mean,
So just to make things go a little bit faster, if anyone wants to give themselves a weapon, you can choose either a club or a quarterstaff, and just give that to your character because you can find a stick somewhere in the
A
forest that
weird
will
stick.
work for that.
I would like a quarterstaff.
I would
Um,
grab enough to make a slingshot when we get back with my
Yep.
own rope and stuff.
Definitely pop up possible.
Club for me.
Quarterstaff.
Okay.
Not really handsy. I think like I'll rely on what the magic I got so far.
Okay.
I'm not really much use in a melee fight.
And then
I think
did you
it
guys
probably I look out of place. So I think if I was carrying a weapon.
want to head back to your home and wait until the dark to try and?
What?
Did you guys want to go back to your house and wait until dark to try and sneak into the temple, or what did you want to do?
Well, I was wondering if we were wandering to the place where we were found. I was wanting to know if we could investigate that. If there's like any other clues we might be able to find.
Sure.
That's-
Go ahead
that's
and
where-
roll an investigation check for me.
I
Okay.
shall join you.
Yes.
Oh, it's a nat 20 for 31.
Oh.
You find nothing and like it. So
Judy, like this place. I could just lay here forever.
so going back there, again, Zarian, with your eidetic memory, you're relatively certain you're back as close as you can get the group to where you landed here, but there are no signs of you being there. There are no tracks that would indicate you walked out of here. There are no depressions that would show that bodies had rested here for any point of time. You literally find no trace of human existence in the area where about 48 hours ago you guys had been discovered unconscious.
That's not alarming at all.
There was no way they could have cleared that out that quickly.
With a
Okay.
31, you know that underbrush and things like that do not regrow quick enough to hide that much that quickly.
Correct me if I'm wrong. When we first got here, his violin was about to fall off the island, correct? Like the edge?
Yes.
Yes.
So we can see the edge of the island?
And I,
Yes.
I do remember, like I believe you said, a lot of our stuff was strewn about.
Yes.
Hey, Lucky,
Yes.
can you do that thing you do at the edge?
Which thing?
That one that lets you see the bad stuff. I don't know what it's called.
Okay. Which edge? Is
Oh, the one that goes off into the abyss.
okay, got it. So I'll go over there and I'll cast Divine Sense.
Mm-hmm. You get nothing, which is weird because the other two places, like in your home and in the temple, it was overwhelming. Like you almost became nauseous because of how powerful it was. And here, you could literally be in Psychicali Station right now, as far as you get to tell. Like there's just nothing.
Yep. Shitloads of it everywhere. It's bad.
Think someone, the person who's been pulling the strings has been teleporting people?
I mean, there's any number of magic things you can do to manipulate, but that again, this is above and beyond.
With how everyone's affected, I'm under the impression we're in a different, like, pocket plane,
Oh,
or we're all
crap!
or we're all somewhere unconscious and something's eating on our subconscious. There's that.
I was always afraid of that. But Smegwick does not remember the whatever the hell that was, like, creature that was mentally talking to us.
So I think we need to do whatever we're going to do tonight, or we're
Yeah,
not going
we
to
should-
last.
Let's
Yeah.
do
We can't stop. Yeah, we can't be pussyfooting around no more.
it! Mm,
All right. So you guys head back. Is there any other preparations you want to make before tonight? I'll say you guys can take your long rest effectively now, so that you can wake up in the middle of the night and be fresh and ready to go.
okay.
How long would it take me to make a slingshot that, would function with my infusion?
Because of the simplicity of a slingshot, I'll say you can do that as part of like your downtime kind of stuff during your long rest.
All right. So I'll do that, and then if we complete the long rest, I will transfer my repeating shot to that, and make the mugs sending stones.
Okay. All
Do you
good
wanna
done.
Do you want to go ahead and get your tools now? Because I think we're kind of making a push for tonight. I don't know if you wanted to try it.
I mean, I can technically use any of my tools. Doesn't matter. I have like 4 other sets on me.
Oh, you had multiple tools. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, they only saw me use the smith's tools.
Hmm.
'Cause I imagine they took my thieves' tools, so I don't have those.
So I and Smegwick thought you needed those to be magically delicious.
No, I need those for Jerry, but that's kind of moot.
Yeah, true.
So you all are able to get some rest, and you will wake up.
I'm sorry, and just to clarify, I'm sorry, I kind of like blanked out. Reggie was okay with performing.
I was able to perform normally, but it expended more stamina than it typically does.
Oh, it took effort just for you to just play music.
Not as much as it is to actually cast a spell, but yeah, it did. Bottom line, I did expend more energy just to play a violin.
To just perform. Okay.
I was just performing. I wasn't trying to charm
Yeah.
anyone, though I did have an idea of if there were like people of authority around me, I was going to try and use enthralling performance to try and charm some people. But no one was around, and I got tired.
See, between that
What?
messing with you and the air genasi suddenly, I'm Danielle now. I've always been here. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, maybe they were already trying to begin with.
I swear that village elder woman's going to get us in a room. She's just start doing like the T thing from Get Out with us.
I haven't even seen that whole movie, and I know about that scene. I was like, oh god.
So, you guys wake up. The village.
I'm presuming we were taking watch.
Yeah. The village itself is eerily quiet at this point. There's normally the meeting place has somebody there at all times doing something, but middle of the night, all the lights are off. There's no movement. The town itself is effectively dead. What would you all like to do?
If we are planning on leaving, we'll go up to my room and suggest everyone else do this. Like, hey, might as well take the pills we have and like position and make it look like we're in the beds in case
Okay.
anyone does pop in. Even if they do suddenly like, oh, it's not them, it will still take time for them to examine.
Okay.
Good idea.
So yeah, not too difficult to go ahead and make up some fake people to sleep in your beds.
All right.
Zarian will reluctantly. Who besides me can't see well in the dark? Is it just us?
Yeah, like I forgot if I have it or not.
I don't think Warforged typically have dark vision.
I don't
Yeah,
think
I
I do
don't-
either. But I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Which is always so weird to me. We've made this
Okay.
autonomous unit to fight in a war. We don't give you the ability to see in the dark.
Yeah.
Theoretically, since we have the character sheets in D&D Beyond, if you had dark vision, it would say so in your character sheet.
Yeah.
So
That's what I thought. I was just trying to find. I couldn't remember where it was at.
I was doing the same thing. I was like, "Ugh."
If we're gonna do this, we should probably do it without any. I hate this. I hate that I'm saying this. Without any lights.
We're
And-
breaking into the temple, right? Because we don't want to just drop down into the well
we
of
were-
water.
That or the windmill, because the windmill had that secret door
Oh,
thing.
the secret door, right. Which do we think is less guarded right now? Or more important? I don't know.
Feel like our new leader would probably be near the temple over the lighthouse
Yeah.
or windmill. But they're probably connected at this point. But before we go, I'm going to try and cast Dark Vision on Owie and Lucky with my 2 second level spell slots if I'm able to.
Yeah, it's taxing to you. You're winded after you do it, but you can.
So for the
So
next
that's
8
what
hours,
it looks like. Thanks.
and then before we head out, I'll just go behind Lucky and just kind of grab the back of his leg and just bury my head. Like, all right, let's go.
Hey.
I'll protect you.
So going outside, it's not pitch black out there, because some of the houses do have like porch lights effectively. So it's dim light as opposed to complete darkness. But as you get to the temple itself, again, the front of the temple has these 2 massive doors. And they're kind of permanently open for the most part. So you guys, and as you get there, the temple itself is completely dark.
Wait, are we going to the temple or the wind? I thought we were going to the windmill.
Never mind. If we're going to the
No,
windmill,
well, I mean, I
I'm
did.
checking with the group. I thought because I don't remember us making a decision.
I thought we were going to the temple too, but I might have been wrong.
well, how about we make the decision now? Where
Yeah.
would you
Yes.
guys like to go?
They said temple, so temple it is.
I'd vote for temple.
I mean, I suggest, but yeah, okay. It just
Okay.
seems, I don't know.
And I would have
That's
given
perfectly
my
fine.
sending mugs to probably 1 to Reggie and then 1 to say Smegwick.
Okay.
So you guys can communicate with each other once a day. If we get separated.
All right. So, again, you get to the temple and you can see the big steps going up. When you guys came here before, there was an acolyte that was always standing outside the doors. There's no one there. There are kind of braziers and sconces in the front that could be lit. They currently are not. And the giant double doors seem to still be open. So if you want to walk in, you can.
It's really sus.
I would like to, as quietly as I can, make a perception check to see if I see anything inside. Is he
Sure.
moving?
Go ahead and make your perception check.
Well, it's
If
for
everyone
60
wants
feet.
to, I've got the map in Roll20 up of the temple. So go ahead and put your minis anywhere near the entrance that you want. We can say that you're all currently outside, but go ahead and put them on the map anywhere, and we'll move them when you actually could go in.
I was reminding people like, hey, now remember the temple. It's kind of like a whisper place that you can like be super quiet. If you whisper, it's gonna go all around. So try and do hand waving signals and stuff. Try not to whisper, or else they might actually still hear us.
16.
As far as you can tell, you don't see any movement. But you can't see any further than your dark vision allows, because inside the temple it is pitch black.
Can you remind me again how I drag my mini over? Which thing at the top do I click?
So if you just, under the journal tab, if you just click on your name and drag it over, it should put your mini down.
Oh, okay. I was trying that and it didn't work, but now you said it and it did just in time to make me look dumb.
That's how Roll20 works.
Okay, great.
Yeah, there can be a delay sometimes.
It can tell if you're going to look good or bad, and it will do whatever it can to make you
Opt
look
for the latter. Got it.
Cool. So yeah, as far as you can tell, there is no movement within 60 feet, which would be your dark vision. So where would you guys like to go?
I'm just going wherever Lucky
Quietly
goes.
tiptoe inside.
Yeah. Again, the door is open wide enough that you guys have no problem getting in. And the ground itself seems to be kind of like made of marble or something similar to it.
There.
So you don't need to worry about stepping on anything that will make noise other than, footfalls on marble.
There you go.
So maybe just kind of like,
So,
before we go in, are we trying to go to the office on the
I think so, right? The evil room.
forbidden room?
Yeah.
define the evil room.
The room.
No, the one.
that the office, the one where they cast the spell and the whole room was shockingly evil.
Yeah, the that would be right down here. That's the
Yeah.
quote unquote meditation cells.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
That's the
Get
meditation cells. We were in there,
Yeah,
but we weren't allowed here. They said that was reserved.
yeah. So, do you guys want to go to the meditation cells, or do you want to go to the worship center, basically? It's
I
up to you
personally
guys.
think we need. I personally think we need to go to the meditation cells, see if that
Yeah, me too.
sense of evil is still there.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Again, the temple itself is eerily quiet. As you come to the meditation cells, now even more so than you were there the last time. The last time there was kind of this stillness to the cells. This time, as you get over there, the air just feels stale. Like something about it it doesn't feel right to be in there.
Oh, so we're at the cells.
Yeah, you're at the cells.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to go over to the one that I know that I made a point of marking down about the one Eden came out of.
Okay.
I want to examine that one.
Okay. Make me an investigation check.
Is it pitch black in this room as well?
Mm-hmm. There is no light anywhere in the temple whatsoever.
I could.
My dice hate me today.
21, sir.
Okay.
Let everyone else is making up for my crap rolls.
Wait,
So
sorry, we're all rolling?
Now that we're inside, do you guys mind if we light something?
Mm.
Or not. It's okay. It's okay.
Maybe
I'm
not
saying this
yet.
as my head is buried into Lucky.
okay. So as you look at the cell she came out of, it literally is a door that opens up into a pretty blank room. But as you're kind of looking around, one thing you notice, the door is very similar to the doors at your rooms at home. There is a locking mechanism on the outside that is hidden. And with a 21, you actually notice at the very edges of the room, all the way around the perimeter, there is, you notice the tiniest incline down from the center of the room. And at the very, very edge, there are these very tiny pinprick holes, evenly spaced out all around the cell. At the very base, basically in the corner where the wall meets the floor, there are these tiny holes all the way around the cell.
Secret tunnel?
Like, say if they were to like incense because they said they use incense, maybe gas people and make them all loopy.
It's theoretically possible, though the fact that the floor slopes downward to
Yeah.
them indicates more of a drainage purpose.
So from how these rooms look, They're not trying to put something in you. They're taking something out.
Oh,
That
God.
you don't know, or at least you don't have that information.
There's only one reason why you have a slope and a drain.
Well, let's keep. Can I? I mean, like we're investigating for like, any. Can I look for any trap doors, secret doors,
Sure.
other?
Go ahead and
Does
make
anyone-
an investigation check.
Does anyone have any spells? I'm talking to Zevin, not Reggie here. Does anyone have any spells that can cause any kind of like create some light? Like something very simple.
Yeah. I have
Because it's pitch black in here, so we can't really see much except for how these rooms are structured. If we could somehow see some light, I want to see if there's like, I highly doubt this because something tells me they clean up every time. But are there like blood stains on the floor that go into the holes?
I
Well, I'm presuming I
actually-
would have found that, right?
You can't see color with the dark vision.
Well,
I
true, but I
have,
would see like splotchy stuff, wouldn't I?
You can't see color with the dark vision.
Oh,
It's
I don't mean color. I mean like splotches. Okay.
not
I'll
not with the dark vision. They would have to be very, very obvious splotches.
I have little fireflies that shed 5 foot dim, 5 foot bright. Like they're really super minute torches.
That's
Well,
perfect.
that could be good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to suggest using my shocking grass as some to like at least give us a little bit of light.
Why don't we? Well, let's put that on the back burner right there. Let's go with the fireflies.
Okay.
I turn my back to this room that they're in, and I'm watching the entirety of the main cathedral the entire time, making sure no one's coming near.
Yes, as far as you can tell, there's no one coming.
Okay.
I'll hand one of my fireflies to Reggie.
I rolled a 14 for investigation.
Sure. So looking around any of the cells, you don't see any trap doors. You don't see any hinges. Nothing. They're literally basically stone boxes with a door attached to them.
Reggie, I don't know if you heard, but you have one of my fireflies. It's
No,
5
I
foot
did
bright.
hear.
Okay.
I did hear.
So Reggie, go ahead and make me an investigation check.
All right. That is a 12.
12. Okay, so looking around, you don't see any blood stains, but as you look at one of the tiny holes, you see something black.
I take my club and I carefully like pull off a little splinter of wood from it,
Mm-hmm.
and I feed it into the hole to try and scoop whatever black stuff I see in
Okay.
there.
So as you sit there and you try and bring the black stuff up, when you bring it up, your little splinter you stuck in there is much shorter than you remember putting it in.
Oh no.
Okay, that's not good.
I'm sorry, what happened?
It like eroded.
Does it look like it's burned or acided or just broke?
It looks like it's been eaten away by something.
What happened?
I Smegwick, my dear man, it looks as though there's something inside these holes that eat. And I show him like the end of the stick that I stuck in the hole.
I hate this place. I hate it.
Yeah.
Would not recommend.
There,
Smegwick, as
there-
you hear him talk about that, and you look at the stick. For some reason you can't really describe, you feel like a chill run down your spine, and your breath goes cold for a second, and then you're fine.
I have a sense memory about why that happened. I mean, I think I know one thing that, like, I don't think what I'm thinking. I know you're not thinking of.
Right now, you don't really know what it was. Maybe someone walked over your grave or something. It happened. It's over.
Have we checked each
Okay.
of these individual meditation rooms?
Right now, you've really only focused on one.
Yeah, I'd like to go through them all.
Okay.
Yeah, I will help her since we're using light sources now.
Okay. So it takes you the better part of about an hour to kind of look over all of them, but they are identical. There's nothing in any one of them that is even off by an inch, by a fraction of an inch. It's almost as if someone have copy pasted the same shape over and over again.
Do any of us get the sense that the thing or whatever it is that essentially ate the toothpick, if it's alive or if it's just magic in nature?
It looks like it was eaten, or I guess closer to like dissolved by something caustic.
There was like a forbidden room that she wouldn't let us look at in here, right?
Mm-hmm. That
Yeah.
is right
Go
over here.
look at it.
Okay.
I think we know where we're going next.
As you guys get to the big double doors that enter into the worship center or sanctuary, the doors themselves, again, are very, very large, and they are currently closed.
Big doors.
Before you do anything, I want to, while we have lights, see if I see anything. I want to check it for traps, I guess.
Okay, make me an investigation check.
Dirty 20.
Okay. As far as you can tell, you don't see any traps on it. You do notice a locking mechanism.
Don't suppose any of you have a set of thieves' tools on you?
I got something better. But I do recommend that we all get up against the walls.
Will it make a lot of noise?
About to ask
No.
that.
No, I was gonna cast knock on the
That
doors.
makes a lot of noise.
Not necessarily. Like if I'm casting it on a door, what it does is that it will unlock the door.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, it technically causes enough noise because there are verbal components to the spell.
Doesn't say anywhere where I have to say that verbal component loudly.
Yeah, it's no louder than any other spell. It's not like the thunder wave.
I was like, "Are you gonna cast Thunder Waves?"
I am not casting
thought.
Thunderwave. Even I know not to do that.
That's
Ready to just go. Da 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 da.
I will have you make a concentration check to cast knock on the door.
All right. What do I use for a concentration check?
It's a Constitution saving throw.
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh no!
It's the same roll you would make if somebody hit you and you had to try and maintain concentration.
Oh dear.
Does anyone else have any thieves' tools? I'm suddenly having second thoughts.
Okay. What did you roll?
I didn't roll anything yet,
Oh.
but I could.
Oh, since you said you cast knock.
Okay, yeah.
And
And also, we didn't know this was happening, so it's fair.
Nat 20!
Oh!
You're fine.
Oh!
You don't even the kind of normal difficulty in casting spells that you've had here, where you get a little winded from it. You don't even feel that. You just kind of go up to it and go, "Excuse me," and go, "Toot, toot, toot, toot." And you guys hear a click, and the door kind of swings a little bit, indicating that there is nothing keeping it shut any little longer.
excellent stuff. Excellent stuff.
As you open the door, you see kind of a curious sight. There are 4 benches on either side of a kind of very regal-looking carpet. On either side of this sanctuary. And then in the center, you see these 2 kind of semicircular staircases that go up and eventually go up to a large throne almost with a pulpit or an altar right in front of it. And then flanking this kind of pulpit that's about 10 feet in the air. Flanking either side are these 2 massive statues of a faceless figure in robes holding a staff with an orb on the end of it.
Does the orb look potentially
Right.
magical, or it's just part of the statue?
It's all carved from stone.
I know you said it's faceless, but does the iconography of like that's a very specific.
You don't recognize it as in general. The gods in Mendacia in general, which is the whole world, don't have physical indications of them. They only have their holy symbols. People in general don't know what the gods look like. There are no icons that depict them. They are just these amorphous beings. So generally, into the temples anywhere else, the most you might see is maybe a high priest or a prophet or someone that was well known, a leader of the religion, if there was a statue of anyone, and even those are exceedingly rare. Generally, it's just a painting or a carving of the holy symbol of the deity itself. So these statues, and when I say faceless, I mean they literally have no features. There's no mouth, there's a bump where the nose should be, there's no eyes, they're just these blanks.
But that's not normal in like our in our world. That's
No.
Definitely not.
Statues without faces are weird everywhere.
Mhm.
Using my 5 feet, or I guess 10-foot radius of light, I'm gonna slowly enter and just look at. I'm gonna make my way towards wrong monitor, like this area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, there's nothing stopping you in here, and you don't get that really sick feeling that you got in the meditation cells. The place is actually it's eerily clean. Like there's not a bit of dust anywhere. The statues themselves, despite the fact that they're just carved stone, they are almost polished and impeccably clean. The carpet on the ground is very, very clean. The carpet going up the stairs, the pulpit, everything in here is immaculate. Like a wizard has gone through and prestidigitated everything.
If the statues are pointed out to me, I will check them out first to see if there's anything off, like because of my hobby, if there's anything off or secretive about them.
Sure. Make me an investigation to check.
And I'll drop another divine sense since I can't fully in the room.
Okay. This place feels wrong.
As bad as the meditation?
It's not the meditation room kind of wrong, but the pulpit itself, there's something desecrated about that pulpit and the throne.
The first one's only a 17.
Okay. Looking at the statue itself, the first thing you notice is this has been done to deliberately to make it look like it was carved out of stone. It was not. There are no tool marks on it anywhere that would indicate that it was ever carved. And certain shapes that were created, certain things in here couldn't have been carved. There would have to be some sort of magical construction to create this particular shape. But this is not a purely artistic thing. This was created by magic. Though it seems mundane.
If I poke it, does it feel like stone?
Really weird.
Definitely feels like this is stone.
Hmm.
I will do what I can to try and get somebody's attention without making like whispering or making noise.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll point to the throne and give it the thumbs down.
I'll go check it out.
Okay.
I'll go with
I'm
them.
going with you.
As you get closer to the throne, you feel kind of this almost electrostatic charge in the air. The hairs on the back of your neck start to stand up a little bit.
Does Ellie even feel anything?
Yeah, you would be familiar with the feeling of a latent magical field.
Well, I guess
This place is definitely magical.
let me do my thing. After having him, Lucky pointed out, I'm gonna, without absentmindedly thinking, because it's just habit, I'm gonna cast light on something and to help me out, so I'm not completely blind and forget that I said not to.
I will say, these things right here. Here, let me see if I can point them out.
They're windows, I assume.
Yeah, all of those are stained glass windows.
Yeah. I have a -2 charisma. I don't think I would pay attention to social cues about, hey,
I
let's not
just
do this.
wanted to let you know. So yeah, you cast light on something so you can see a little bit better. What specifically do you want to do to the throne itself?
I just want to see if there's, again, a trap door. Since I found something in the windmill, I'm kind of like paranoid that they're everywhere now.
Make me a perception check.
And I'll go back to the door and be sentinel.
This is going to be a perception check.
All right, this will not be nearly as good. Or I just roll 16, 19.
Okay. As you are looking at the throne itself, you start noticing that one of the arms doesn't seem right. And the reason it doesn't seem right is it is an illusion.
Oh.
And it becomes partially transparent as you realize the illusion is there. And you notice it is hiding a lever.
Ooh.
Pull the lever, Kronk.
Oh no.
Well, this is what I do best, aside from maps.
Had that lever. I guess we're about to find out.
I will say back up. This has gone poorly in the past.
I will back off.
I think.
Back up.
I will back up
Well-
twice as much as everyone else.
Okay. So
Oh.
you guys leave
Oh.
Zarian to die.
Hey.
Do you pull the lever?
Yeah,
Actually,
once
I'm
they're-
gonna stand as the side of a statue in case the statue's like shoots.
I guess I'd be right there.
Okay. So as you pull it, the first thing you notice, there is a lot of resistance to the lever itself. Not that it's jammed or anything, but it's connected to something large. As you pull it, it moves very slowly, but definitely moves deliberately. Like it feels like it has been well worked. Karen, you notice as he pulls it, again, this pulpit is effectively on a pillar 10 foot high. You notice as he pulls it, the pillar itself twists underneath
Oh.
and reveals a staircase.
I raise my hand and point. And
I
I
will-
walk towards it.
Like,
Yeah.
is the door closed? The big door.
As he pulled the lever, the door shut on its own.
Was it loud or did it just?
Well, this whole thing is the sound of rock grinding against rock seems pretty loud in here.
Good to know.
We're
If
gonna do this.
I,
We're gonna do
if I
this.
take my
What I'm
hand
gonna
off the lever, does
Mhm.
it start shutting?
No.
Okay. Then I'll go to where she pointed out the stairs.
Yeah, the stairs are basically underneath.
Okay.
So you guys go over there. There is a circular staircase that seems to descend down.
Who's going first?
I'll go. I don't
Alright.
care. I'll go. I'll go. Big
Oh,
and,
but you have dark vision.
big and bold.
I'll go towards the rear since I have the light cantrip up.
Mm.
So as you guys head down,
Ooh boy.
the first thing you need to notice is you're going down a lot. Like the stairs just keep going. And you notice a drop in the ambient temperature. You notice that the air gets a little bit more humid, gets a little bit colder. Your ears actually pop as you're going down. You've gone down so far. You think you've probably gone down. By the time you get to the very bottom, you think you've probably gone down anywhere between 60 to 100 feet. You're not 100% certain because of the winding nature. It just kept going and going and going. When you get down here, though, the room that you're in is actually lit. There are little sconces on the wall that provide light.
I would kill my light cantrip then.
Okay. And the room itself, it's about 25 by 25. It looks to be almost a natural cavern. The ground itself is rough, and the walls themselves are rough as well. Like they're not flat or solid or anything like that. If it wasn't for the fact that it does form a pretty close to square room, you would think that this had been done naturally through erosion or something. And you can see there is a single exit to this room on the southwest corner. What would you all like to do? You can go ahead and put your minis in the upper right-hand corner of the map. The only part you should be able to see.
Oh, there it is. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I have got to play with Fog of War.
Oh no.
Well, I'm glad we went into the woods now and got some kind of weapons.
Mm-hmm.
A large stick. My mini on here already? Why can't I place this?
I can't hear. Every time I reference a stick, I always think of Eric Idle. What about a pointed stick?
I think of Princess and the Frog. I'll keep moving forward slowly,
Okay.
trying to see what
So
feels like the answer to our problems.
Feel free to move your mini anywhere on the map. Each square is 5 feet, so that tells you like distance, everything. And when you get to, okay, there it is. When you get here, I'm gonna try and reveal that for you.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's a
Feel-
tunnel.
So
There-
when you
oh,
get there, you can see the tunnel itself splits. There is
Yep.
a tunnel that goes to the west, and there's a tunnel that goes to the south. And it ends, the one to the south has a door that ends it, and the one to the west turns southward, and you can't see. And partway down the western tunnel, there is a door to the north.
Sorry, I have to do this at least once. Secret tunnel.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
2 of them. Is there a way we want to go first? Are you able to use your divine sense to maybe help us if one feels worse than the other, or?
Yeah, I'll walk, scooch by and get towards like maybe here,
Mm-hmm.
and
He's
I
about to
will.
feel real bad.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and drop another divine smite, or not divine smite, divine sense.
I smite the hallway.
How dare you?
What's the range on the gig again?
60.
60. Cool. To the south, there are two kind of blips that are massively desecrated. To the west, there's just this kind of feeling of unease. But to the south, you can feel these very two pinprick points that something has quite definitely been intentionally desecrated in some way.
So the not much down that long hallway, and the short one's got two pricks in it, or something like that.
Unfortunately, I feel like our way out of here is going to be to go towards the worst thing possible so we can try and kill it.
Hey.
So, to the south? Are we in agreement?
Let's pick a fight. I want my magic back.
Yeah.
I want
Alright,
to be
we're
able to
gonna
play
move
again.
south.
Okay. So you come to a door. Do you want to open it, or?
Does anyone have any sort of check for bad things? I have no magic.
Check for bad things.
If you want to just look for traps, you can roll an investigation check.
I'll do that, yeah.
Want me to do that, or do you want me to do it?
Oh, well, that's
Oh.
a natural one, so I'll just look at my feet.
You're relatively
I will-
certain it's a door.
Yay!
20!
I
All right.
found a door.
Finally!
Owie, as you kind of look this over, with your specialty being magics, the thing that you look for first is any sort of arcane sigil or something that would hint that this door has been magically trapped. There's nothing. Looking over it even more, the door itself is hung very poorly. It is attached to the walls in kind of weird ways. It's kind of hammered in. The walls themselves don't quite fit the door. The door is hanging kind of off its hinges. But as far as you can tell, it doesn't look like it's going to explode or anything if you open it.
I'll get
It
close
looks
to the
safe,
door
but it's very awkward.
and try to cast detect magic.
Okay. Again, it takes a fair amount of effort to do it, and you actually get just a minor headache as you could cast it. But as you look at the door, no magic on the door.
Okay.
So what do you guys wanted to do?
I will try to open the door.
Okay.
Do the thing!
The door is jammed a bit because it's hung poorly,
Yep.
but it's not locked.
I am strong.
So you kind of put a little bit of force into it, and it opens to a relatively large room. It's about 30 feet long, about 25 feet wide, and you can see at the other end there's another door. On the south there's another door, and to the west there is a little hallway that ends in another
Room of
door.
doors. Room of doors. Goodness. I
And
look
again-
at Lucky with sadness in my eyes.
The ground itself is misshapen and very, very smooth, but not flat anywhere. And the same with the walls and everything. The whole area just looks eroded.
Oh, so the floors are like the walls, or they're kind of
Yep.
like.
There is not a flat surface since you guys walked off. This is the stairs.
Okay.
Did we get from the camera? I think it was her name's Eden.
Yeah, Eden.
Did we get vibes that she was more arcane inclined or nature?
Well, she did counterspell one of you.
Ooh.
There could be a homebrew druid class out there.
So, as far as the source of her power, you're not certain. She didn't talk about it, but counterspell is an arcane spell. You know that, and that is exactly what she used. There's no mistaking a counterspell.
With no effort.
Yeah, she did it very easily.
I'm gonna go to the door and listen, see if I can hear anything, since I can't detect things with spells.
Yeah, I didn't read the last sentence. Like I should have done this but I can't detect anything that's behind total cover.
Got it.
So
We have it up for 10 minutes.
no, this is divine sense.
Oh. Gotcha.
Just gonna listen at the doors.
Which one?
I'm just gonna go around them all.
Okay.
I'll start with the one to our right.
While she's doing
Download.
that, I want to see if I see.
If you click on the map and if you click and hold, it'll actually make a little.
That one.
Yeah. Okay. So as you go down there, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
While she's doing that, I want to check the ground to see if there's any evidence of someone walking through, and if so, what direction.
Okay. Make up a perception check or survival. I'll let you choose.
I somehow rolled another 1. So
So it's a really poorly hung door.
the door.
And so you're having a hard time listening at all because you try and put your ear up to it, but it's like it's on a slant. So you're having a hard time doing that.
Poor workmanship.
Zirian?
I rolled a 10 for
10.
survival.
Yeah. As you're sitting there looking at the floor, there are no tracks. There's no nothing. Like the floor itself is immaculately clean. Like again, this almost looks like someone has come through and cleaned absolutely everything. There is not a scrap of anything on the ground. As you kind of look around, you notice you guys are leaving footprints, but there are no footprints anywhere other than the ones that you guys have left. There's also no dust. There's nothing here.
There's no dust, but we're leaving footprints.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Yes, you are.
Do they disappear after like a little while if I just stare at one?
No. It seems to be just the particles of dirt on your feet. The floor itself here is so clean that literally any speck of dust is instantly noticeable.
I take off my shoes once I notice this.
I mean, how clean are your feet?
I don't know. We'll find out. See if I leave
Okay.
some footprints.
I try to clean out my feet as much as I can since Zowie is barefoot.
I don't have my dice. Darn it. I'll have to roll here.
Also, I'm gonna move to the other door and listen at the other door. I'm trying to click and it's not doing
Well,
the ping
before
thing.
you
One that I'm at.
do that,
Oh no.
I guess I don't have to roll that twice, but before you do that, as you're sitting there, kind of looking around and examining your footprints and everything like that, you suddenly feel this searing pain as something thick and goopy and slimy drops on you and starts burning you.
Oh no!
You take
Oh no!
9
This is-
bludgeoning damage.
Is this me
and-
specifically?
Yes, you personally.
Got it.
And 36 acid damage as this black ooze
Sir.
falls from the ceiling
Sir.
and hits you.
His first roll was a nat 20.
Yeah, unfortunately that was a crit.
Does anyone have health potions? Because we haven't even fought yet. and
All
I'm
magic
almost-
that was taken off of us. Unless someone from chat
Well,
gave us
before that happens, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to drop 1. You see 3 of these black amorphous. Where did you? What? Why can I not select?
Now!
Oh, it's because I have the wrong thing.
Now!
You
Now!
pulled!
Holy cow.
You pulled it!
now! Why'd you make it bigger?
Because that's the size they are. They drop. The first one lands on Karen and hits her. Also, you're not currently. No, you're wearing armor, right? Today.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Oh.
So.
I don't remember.
Your armor now has a -1 penalty to its AC as the acid hits it and cracks your armor.
I don't remember ever adding to my armor class for
As a
getting
barbarian, you
armor.
don't use armor, do you?
Yeah.
If you're a barbarian, you probably don't wear armor.
Okay, then I don't wear armor.
Then no, it just burns your skin.
If you
Okay.
click
Take
on
the
if you
-1
click on
AC.
if you click on your armor class, it'll tell you if you're.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And
Got it.
that is where we're going to end it. For
God
this
damn
week,
I have a quick
unfortunately.
question. I have a quick question.
Go for it.
If it landed on me
Mm-hmm.
and it's oozy,
Mm-hmm.
can I
It's-
like hurrah!
Sure.
through the middle of it?
Sure. We'll deal with how that works. Next
Great.
next week actually.
Great.
Yeah, if I'm reading this correctly, I think it engulfed you. It landed
Yeah.
on you.
I want to
Oh,
go
not
into
on board
barbarian
anymore.
rage and just burst out of it.
Yeah. Currently, right now, you are occupying the same space because this
Yeah.
thing is liquid.
It's on me.
But
It's yeah.
I hope everybody watching enjoyed that. I know I did. Really quickly, a friend of the channel is actually currently streaming right now. So we are going to go ahead and raid the amazing Kiri Callaghan.
And for those of you watching later, we're going to be going over to Curiosity.
Yes.
KIRIOSITY. On
So
Twitch.
thank you so much for tuning in. If you missed any of the episode, I do upload all of these to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/TrainerJody. They show up noon on Sundays. So feel free to check us out there. Otherwise, that is all for me this week. And I will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.
Sweet run.